The next question that I received was, what is a full-time real estate professional status? What does that mean? What is the advantages and how can they achieve it? Briefly, the definition of a full-time real estate professional from an IRS standpoint means that you have to meet several different qualifications. The two main ones that I always point out to people is that more than 50% of your personal services that you perform in all the businesses that you're in throughout the year, excuse me, must be performed in a real estate business in which you materially participate. That's why limited partnerships usually don't qualify if that's all you're doing is investing in limited partnerships. Because if you recall, limited partnerships don't have any liability in the business. They don't usually have any voting rights or any managerial responsibilities. So they are not really considered to be materially participating. So if you have all of your investments in limited partnerships, then it's really not going to be possible, to my knowledge anyway, I'm not a tax professional, to declare full-time real estate professional status. The other is you must work 750 hours in the real estate trader business. Now, that's pretty easy to do. For some of you that have been more active in real estate, you understand how quickly that can add up for you. But the benefits to this designation are vast, and they can lead to negating most, if not all, of your active income to where you may never pay federal tax again. I mean, if you can claim full-time real estate professional designation and you'll be able to accelerate the depreciation on your assets through a cost segregation analysis on your properties, and then offset W-2 income for you or your spouse. The best way I always kind of walk people through this is by example. So let's just say you are a full-time real estate professional and you have an apartment complex, and your physician wife makes $400,000 a year in income. So she makes $400,000 a year in income. You own an apartment complex that's managed by a third party, doesn't have to be you. You're managing the managers, that's considered active. And you do a cost segregation study on an asset. Just briefly, for those that don't know what a cost seg is, it's where most apartment complexes are, they're depreciated over 27 years. What this does is accelerate that depreciation on a 1-year schedule and a 5-year schedule. And you get generally 25 to 30% of the value of the apartment complex depreciated in that first year. So let's say you have a $2 million apartment complex. This gives you $400,000 of accelerated depreciation to take in year one, just making the math easy. So since you are a full-time real estate professional, you can dollar for dollar offset your wife's income to where her effective taxable income is now zero. So I'm gonna say that one more time. Since you are a full-time real estate professional, you can dollar for dollar offset your wife's income to where her effective taxable income is now zero, because you got $400,000 of accelerated depreciation. You are a full-time real estate professional, so you can write off active income from your spouse. So you get all of that federal income tax back that year as a refund. So the federal income tax rate's 32%. That's about $125,000, $130,000 returned to you in the form of a tax refund. This isn't a deduction. It's not a credit. This is actually a refund in your pocket. This is not a loophole. This is not something that you're going to get pinched on. As long as you're, fulfilling the requirements to be a full-time real estate professional, or your spouse is. This is just something that the government wants you to do. They incentivize us to do what they don't want to do. They don't want to be in oil and gas production, so they have great tax incentives for it. They don't want to be in the housing business, so they have great tax deductions for it. But it's just something that's out there, and your real estate professional really needs to know how to take best advantage of this.